In this video, we're going to take a look at the DMIN function in Excel. The DMIN function has a corresponding function called min, and we're going to take a look at the min function first. So let's go to H6 here, and we'll type in lowest profit. And let's just right align this column here. And then profit for apple trees. And it looks like I kind of put that stuff a little too far to the left. Let's drag everything over one. Okay. So let's figure the lowest profit for all of this stuff here. Well, that's just the min function. So go to the Home tab and go to the Auto Sum button here and choose min. And it looks for the closest numbers. Those are not the correct ones, so just drag the mouse over the range from E6 to E11. And when that is listed as your argument to the min function, go ahead and hit the Enter key. And it will tell you that the lowest value of these numbers is 45. Now, sometimes you don't want the minimum number of all of them. You want the minimum of a subset. So you want to do a little bit of filtering first. So the minimum of the apple trees, for example, would be just looking at these three numbers. In this case, the apple tree happened to be the lowest of all. So we'd want to look at just these three and find the minimum of those. And that's where the DMIN function is used. Let's go in here and just make this a little bit easier to see a different number. So let's put 35 in there instead. And now the lowest apple tree will be 45, but the lowest overall will be 35. So let's do the DMIN function. Let's go to the Formulas tab, and again, the D functions do not appear on any one of these books. So go to the Insert Function tab and choose DMIN. Click on OK. Needs to know where our database is. Our database is here. Our field is the profit column, and our criteria is it needs to be an apple tree. So select our criteria range up here in A1 and A2, and let's click on OK, and it tells us that the lowest profit for an apple tree is $45. So let's try something else. Let's try changing our criteria range. So let's go in here and click on the FX here to edit, and let's change it to this whole criteria range here, which is going to be apple trees that are between 10 and 16 feet. And there is only one. It's this one right here. So we should get 75 if we change that. And look, I was not careful about how I did that. And I messed up my criteria range. So now let's go ahead and do it. Click on OK. And the lowest one is 75 because that's the only one. So let's try that again with a different criteria range. This time we will add in the row 3 here. So let's go to our FX and tell it we want to delete the criteria that's there. And so delete that, click on the arrow, and then let's drag the mouse over this. So now it's going to give us apple trees between 10 and 16 and all of the pear trees. And we have a pear tree at 35 and a pear at 96. So this is going to change to 35 when we go ahead and either click on the arrow here and click on OK, or just hit the Enter key. And now we're getting to 35 here because we're looking at the apple tree that is between 10 and 16 feet, and we're looking at all of the pear trees that happen to be in our database, and 35 is the minimum of those numbers. Another thing you might want to do when you're doing this kind of stuff is take your database, your table, and name it. Especially if you've got a large table, then you don't have to remember what the coordinates are, and you don't have to do a lot of dragging over many, many rows in your spreadsheet. So select it, make sure you include the column headings, and then give it a name up here in the name box. The rules for a name are that it has to be begin with a letter, can be made up of letters, digits, and underscores after that. You cannot put a space in it though. So I'm going to name that tree table and hit Enter. And now I'm going to go back here and I'm going to try to edit that. And I'm going to just replace this up here with tree table. It's not going to change anything. It's just because it refers to the same data that I had before, but it's just an easier way to do it, especially if you're going to be referring to this multiple times in multiple formulas over here.